Before we dive into today's podcast, this episode is sponsored by Rebuy, an end-to-end personalization platform for Shopify and Shopify Plus stores. Now, personalizing your Shopify store isn't a nice to have, it's definitely a must. Did you know that over 75% of online shoppers are more inclined to buy from brands that offer a personalized shopping experience? It's no surprise then that stores that embrace personalization, they see significant boosts in conversion rates and average order value and even customer lifetime value. So if you're looking for the simplest and most effective way to deliver smart, tailored experiences to your Shopify customers, look no further than Rebuy. This is a powerful platform and it has a suite of game-changing features. A few that I love: AI-powered smart search is really there to help shoppers find exactly what they need. They also have precise and well-timed product recommendations. Really, that's there to increase your cart size. And the best part, I love their smart cart. It's stunning and intelligent shopping cart experience. I would say it's market leading. It's the best. And with results like this, it's clear why more than 10,000 of the fastest Shopify stores have already turned to Rebuy to wow their customers and skyrocket their sales. So don't miss out on the personalization revolution because it's happening right now. And as a special guest to eCommerce Fastlane listeners, Rebuy is offering the first 45 days absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to rebuyengine.com/Fastlane. And there you can sign up and get going on this platform absolutely free.
You're listening to eCommerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company, powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder, and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
Welcome back to eCommerce Fastlane. Really, this is the show that really helps Shopify brands to accelerate growth through expert insights and a lot of proven strategies. And that's exactly what's going to happen on today's show. I'm your host. I'm Steve Hutt, former Shopify employee, fully all in now with eCommerce Fastlane. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The competitive landscape right now in e-commerce, everybody knows there's a lot of craziness going on right now with this cookie apocalypse happening. Google doing all these crazy updates now with SEO. And so it's crucial right now to really hone in and find a strategy that actually can make a difference in your business. That's why I'm thrilled to have Tadej Bogataj on today. He is the co-founder of a company called CartBoss, and they are a very powerful SMS abandoned cart recovery solution. They work with WooCommerce, but they really honestly have their flag in the sand with Shopify. They're really there to help boost sales and recover your lost carts. And they have a lot of I'd even call it pre-prepared kind of and translated text messages that are already ready to roll. They have a lot of expertise in this space, and I'm really excited to unpack how you as a merchant can kind of uncover a lot of these lost sales, because trust me, it happens with conversion rates and a lot of brands sub 2%. 98% of your customers are leaving. There's no opt-ins. There's a lot of craziness going on. This tool is very unique where it really motivates people that come to the website and what they can do to recover carts. So hello today. Welcome to eCommerce Fastlane.
Hi, Steve. I must admit, this was the introduction of a lifetime. Yeah, you really described everything as it should be and all the problems that usual e-commerce stores have and that we actually help them fix. So that's CartBoss in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's lovely. This is a really neat solution. And, I know we kind of were talking before recording, but I believe it's a blue ocean of opportunity right now where I'd argue that a lot of brands are not dealing with SMS cart recovery at all or even correctly. And I think that's one of the unique, I call it superpowers that you have at CartBoss to be able to know if you're not doing it. I'm hoping by the end of this episode that people understand that if you're not doing it, you're leaving money on the table right now. It is printing money for people. And I think it's really important for people to understand the importance of SMS and then the importance of what can we do to recover some of these carts on brand, multilingual, if you're an international brand. At this, I can't rave about it enough. That's why I have you on. I know our time zones are massively different. So I'm glad that we're able to kind of be here today. So let's just kick things off first, I want to understand your inspiration behind CartBoss. Like what are some of the unique situations that brought you and your co-founder together to actually want to build this solution?
Well, the thing is that we both had web development companies beforehand. And I used to work directly with larger e-commerce companies here in Europe and help them grow their conversions. And one of the things was that we were working on the checkout page as much as possible, because that's where you lose the most amount of money, because you just got someone through the process of getting to the checkout. But once they're on the checkout page, we noticed that a lot of people dropped out. And no matter what kind of testing we did, the numbers did change a bit, but they never grew drastically. So we did a lot of emailing regarding abandoned carts, like the automation side of it. But with emails, you couldn't get that far because, there's so much spam going on, or they get into the promotional folder, or the demographics isn't even there. If there's elderly people, who check their emails maybe once a week, you don't achieve much.
Right.
And even if it's a young person, they have their inbox of email completely full. So we had an idea of we knew that there's a problem with just using emails, and we were considering using WhatsApp at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then we thought that if you use WhatsApp, you're not gonna get to all of the people, because you've got, again, elderly, not IT savvy people. But if you use text messages, that's a really, really solid way of getting in, because you always see the text messages, no matter if you're young and old. And if you later on check the statistics, you'll see that text messages compared to WhatsApp messages still get read more often and faster than anything else. So it was just an idea, actually, to use text messages for reminding people that they forgot something in the cart and that they should just recover it. So we developed a minimum viable product to test it out on the market with our existing clients. And we left the tests running during the weekend. And I think the return of investment for that specific client was somewhere around 2,800%. So at that point, we realized, okay, we actually have something here, because the guy didn't spend a lot of money and made over $600 in 2 days with a minimal amount of traffic.
All right. Well, that's very interesting about just the inspiration behind CartBoss. And for me, I know you probably believe this, but it's just like every company has roots and kind of a founding story. And I just would love to understand just the startup journey then. So you had all this kind of development background, and I kind of get all that and how you met your co-founder, but why specifically? And let's talk about CartBoss, the implementation and the whole process of wanting to build it.
Well, the idea was there, and we knew that companies would like to test it out, because I just grabbed my phone and talked to a few of our clients with the web development company, and they were all really interested. So the only thing that was missing was the software. So we started, Damian, the co-founder, he's like a hardcore developer. So he started working on the code, and I started working on the business idea behind it, what features does it need? How should it look? All those, small things. Of course, we collaborated together, but I had to do something while he was developing everything. So that was just the way we separated work. He doing the development and I was doing the marketing preparations and all of that stuff. And when the day of the initial testing, when the minimal viable product was completed, we just reached out to one specific client, asked him hey, we've got this ready now. Would you like to test it out?
Mm-hmm.
And he said no, that he doesn't have time. So at that time, we realized that if you don't have everything prepared and ready for a company to just click and start using, you're not going to get far. So the problem here was actually that the messages weren't prepared up front. So you could connect the site and write your own text messages, what messages you want to receive when someone abandons the cart. But we didn't have those. So what we did was we prepared a bunch of text messages hey, John, here's 10% off if you complete an order now. and stuff like that. And we got them translated to 50 plus languages so that we had them prepared for whatever country the client was selling in. And then we got back to him and said, look, now we've got a simple integration that you just install a plugin, click on it, and you've got the messages already prepared and translated, and the language of the recipient is going to get detected. So that means that he's going to automatically receive the text message in his own language. Then he said yes. So that was the first time that he said yes, because it was so easy for him. He just clicked, and within 5 minutes, I think he had 10 plus e-commerce stores. I think he had them on WooCommerce connected.
Wow.
So that was the starting phase. The tests were running during the weekend, I think. And he came back with, I think, 2,800% return of investment just from the abandoned cart text messages.
Yeah, that's certainly proof of concept, right?
That was so easy, because we could just pick up the phone and talk to other clients that had the same kind of a business model, kind of a drop shipping business, and tell them, look, this company tested this solution out. You can expect this kind of results. Why don't you just test it out? And at that point, we started getting, to the first problems in a way. What happened is that people started getting afraid. I mean, the company owners started getting afraid that the recipients of the text messages will be unhappy with getting them.
I see.
But it turned out that that's not the case, because the unsubscribe rate is under 1%. And people are happy with receiving text messages in this kind of a manner. They don't mind, actually.
Yeah. The thing that I noticed too, because I do get messages from different brands, and at the end of the day, it's just if you choose to not want to follow them anymore, you've made your purchase, you're done, or not interested, or whatever the case may be, it's so easy just, and people are just trained now, just type the word stop and send, and then it just goes away. And that just clearly sends a signal back to the brand that, right now in their current kind of buying journey, they're not the right customer for you. And that's fine. You can't be everything to everybody, but clearly you're on the website. There was some desire at some point. You added something to the cart. And so now here we are, you may be looking around competitively, but maybe others are not sending text messages out in your competition. You are. And then, it's a very noisy internet, and it's a noisy world in e-commerce right now. And it's if any way you can kind of differentiate yourself and actually get on the radar with, your customers and your brand. I mean, it's definitely, it's worth trying if you've not done it.
Yeah, I mean, the most that can happen is that you get an email requesting your phone number to get deleted or something like that.
Right.
But the unsubscribe journey, as you mentioned, is really easy. There is an unsubscribe link in each text message. You just click on it and you're done. So,
I see.
Yeah, I mean, there's stations that you need to look out for when you send out text messages, which is why we've got a whole team of lawyers that helped us set everything up in a way that's legal, GDPR and I think CCPA, or how is it called in California?
Yeah. So let's talk about the app itself in the Shopify ecosystem. So you can search for it, just type in the word CartBoss. I think it comes up as SMS cart or abandoned cart from CartBoss. But what's interesting, so if someone adds this app to their store, can you walk us through what happens? Because you mentioned that there's a lot of benefits built into this app right now. When you mentioned there's a lot of ready-made text messages that are set to help recover carts in multilingual. So I think that's incredible. And then I wouldn't be surprised, there's probably a lot of kind of discounts and special offers and things like free shipping and custom codes and stuff. So just walk us through what someone would find if they add it to their Shopify store, and then just walk us through step by step what happens. Because what I wanted to find out is it truly kind of a self-serve option that just kind of works out of the box? I just would love to understand it more.
Okay, just to give you a short answer, it's like a one-stop shop done within a click.
Okay.
So you've got your Shopify store, you search the app store for our solution CartBoss, you install the app, and when you install the app, it automatically creates an account for you at CartBoss, meaning that you don't need to go through the registration process. Once you install the app, you already have an account with CartBoss. So within the app, you just click Get to My Account, which means that you get redirected to your CartBoss dashboard, where you've got different graphs regarding how many messages you sent out that day, what was the return of investment, like the basic statistic information.
Right.
Once you activate the account on your site, you automatically have 2 text messages for recovering abandoned carts already active. One is sent within 10 minutes after a person abandoned the cart, and the second one is sent after 3 hours after the person abandoned the cart.
Okay.
So the first message that's sent out, So what do you have in the dashboard? You've got an option to send abandoned cart text messages. You've got an option to send win-back text messages, which are post-purchase text messages. And we're going to be adding another feature called mass sending, which is a newsletter feature.
Right.
What we're focusing on is the abandoned carts. So within the abandoned cart text messages, you've got around 15 pre-prepared text messages.
Right.
Different kinds, like for a text message offering free shipping or a specific amount of discount, which means that Shopify in the backend actually needs to automatically generate a unique discount code, add it to the shopping cart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also something that CartBoss does. After someone after someone abandons a cart on your website, they receive a text message. When they click on the link in the text message, they automatically get redirected to the checkout page with all the information that they already wrote into the checkout fields. And they also get automatically the discount. So they don't need to write it in or anything.
Right.
So it's a completely seamless process for the visitor as well as the company.
I see. While you were talking, I added it to my demo store right now, and literally was as easy as you said. So as you were just mentioning it for 2 minutes, I was able to fully install it. And then so I'm on my dashboard now, and I've gone to under automations, and you're correct about the 15 or so that are in there. 2 are turned on, complete your order before this, stock runs out, click here. And Shopify's kind of checkout URL ready to roll. And, and then obviously with Shop Pay, it makes it really easy to check out directly if their Shop Pay activated. And then there's lots of others that you can toggle on and test. And you have a lot of things about the ROI and language and money spent and things like that. So it's pretty neat. And then same as the win back, you've got a couple win back offers in here, special offers just for you. You have 24 hours. Here's the discount off for this item. And it gives the URL back to the item. I just love the fact that you've kind of done a lot of the work. And I think that's the challenge that a lot of brands have, where they're even the marketer. They're like, hey, we know that likely text messaging is kind of the best open rate, best conversion rate. It really builds a brand. But the challenge is that how can I modify, or what's the starting point of coming up with all of these text messages? And you've done a lot of the work ahead of time now. You can click edit and you can slightly edit them yourself to be completely on brand. If you're you have more comedy, if you're more serious, whatever your brand voice is in tone, you can actually go in there and use these as inspiration and add your own or edit these custom messages. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And actually, when you see, if you're logged into the dashboard where you can see recommendations,
right,
where you have 2 text messages recommended and activated by default, actually, those are updated in real time, meaning that those are the ones that actually do perform the best based on other users. Yeah,
I see. Well, that's really neat. So then let's talk about the compliance. I think it's interesting with emails. I know there are tools out there where like retention.com and OpenSend and a few others where they're kind of unhashing, or some brands are choosing in America anyways to unhash this anonymous website visitor that comes to the website, and they can give these email addresses. Hey, thanks for visiting our site. They've not opted in yet. And that's a maybe semi-gray area of marketing of a lot of these unknown site visitors from an email perspective. I know when you start getting into text messaging, I know for a fact that it's a little bit more stringent about messaging someone to their phone, a little more intimate and personal because it's instant to their phone and they get a notification on it. And usually it's for friends and family only or opted in brands that you really, are a fan of. So can you walk us through like that compliance part or the opt-in part about like how does a site visitor give their phone number, or what's the strategy around having the opportunity to be able to send them a text message to remind them that it needs to be recovered, this cart they were at?
So actually, when you abandon a cart on an e-commerce site, you're in negotiation with them actually.
Right. Fair enough.
Or you can, so when a visitor abandons the shopping cart, he's either in negotiations with you or there was a problem on the checkout page, which you don't actually know. So there's in a way a legal loophole regarding sending out 1 or 2 text messages,
right,
meaning that you're quite fine doing so. Of course, it's always recommended that you have your terms of service updated, so informing the customers that you're going to be getting in touch with them via text messages as well. But the optimal way is to just show a check mark on the checkout page,
right,
saying, hey, if you want to receive text messages, please click here. And that's actually integrated in the WooCommerce plugin, but Shopify has that integrated in the checkout by default, so you don't have to worry about anything.
Right. I'm noticing that too. So I'm just in a pretty large Shopify brand right now, and I think part of the checkout option is a contact information. So you throw in your email address, shipping address. This particular brand has it currently unchecked, or it says by check in this box, you're opting into our text message program and are sent to the terms below. And so they have an unchecked box, but I guess there is an option. And I think when you check it, they have some text message terms of conditions and you put your phone number in. It's interesting if there is an option where it's kind of defaulted on and you accept those terms. Because once again, it's easy to unsubscribe, and clearly someone has the opportunity, the will to want to see what the shipping amount is, the shipping times, or whatever the issues are, why they abandoned. It's nice that they've kind of filled out all this information, including their phone number, because they want to get, a text message notification potentially for shipping, which would be another connection to Shopify, right? So it sounds like there's this on or off option, I would believe. I'll have to dig deeper into that. Or maybe you would know if you can, in Shopify's checkout flow, if there's ways of kind of defaulting the mandatory field of phone number and implied compliance of SMS.
There's a few settings within Shopify, if you own a store, that you can actually customize the requirements to complete the order. So you can do that by default.
I see. Okay. All right. That's very cool. So then we have that. So that's a really good way of having that phone number. So I think that's number one key, is a double check. For sure in Shopify Plus, you get access to checkout extensions. And so that will give you, certainly, and this one I'm looking at, this brand right now doesn't have the one-page checkout option turned on. But there is options through checkout extensions on the Plus side for sure. You can auto checkbox and have all your social proof and other things going on in the checkout flow. So
yeah, exactly.
So, all right, that's cool. Okay, so I understand that. So you add that on, then you go, and then it's a matter of just going through and trying to figure out with the 2 that are turned on automatically. And then from there, it's a little bit of trial and error with your own brand to figure out, well, which ones are most effective for, and what's kind of the feedback you're getting and the conversion rate you're getting based on having at least the 2 default ones turned on. And then from there, it's a matter of trial and error of the rest, or your own custom ones you add as you kind of learn how you want to interact with your business and your customers.
Exactly. Usually the best way to go about it is actually with the first text message, just to give a gentle reminder, saying, hey, John, you forgot this in your shopping cart. Don't forget to complete your order. And that's the funniest thing, because we didn't expect that just a simple reminder would give such amazing results.
Right.
Those kind of text messages are actually better than the text messages offering a discount code. Honestly, to this day, I have no idea why. Mm-hmm. I always thought that a discount immediately would convert immediately. But no, just a gentle reminder is more than enough. And if you think about it, you usually pay what, $3, $4, $5 for a visitor to get on your shop, maybe?
Yeah, for sure.
If he doesn't convert, what you going to do? Send him an email, which isn't going to convert. I mean, he's not even going to read it. Or you can send a text message where you have a probability of 99% that he's going to open the text message.
Right. That's very true.
Yeah. And you just pay 10 cent, 0.1 cent for a text message.
Yeah. No, it's definitely very affordable, and it's definitely the open rates are very high. I mean, I've had enough kind of SMS providers that don't have this kind of robust, recovery system already pre-baked in, just more outbound blasts and offers and campaigns and things like that. So it's quite interesting that I know the open rates are there. I used to manage the Dr. Squatch account at drsquatch.com, and when I was with Shopify, and that's, it was one of their claim to fames. They were quite successful in how they were interacting with their fans and followers of the business, customers or not. They were able to message out to these people a lot in bulk, and the conversion rate, or if they did a drop, there's another big, I know you're working on this right now, but there's another great opportunity with flash sales and limited things, and just saying, hey, sign up to this program or tag them in this certain program, and all of a sudden, boom, you do like a mass blast. That's a separate opportunity, I think, that you're likely working on. So I want to talk about some success stories. I think it's always interesting to me because, when someone builds something, I think people listening like, okay, great. Most people would agree that there are benefits of having text messaging and getting these kind of like opt-ins, or at least implied opt-in for checkout, or getting the formal opt-in if you're using a tool like a pop-up kind of a tool to get email and phone number in exchange for some kind of offer. Once you have that, it's just a matter of like how we execute on it. But so I went to the website. You have a few different people that you've kind of been working with, and you have a lot of large, big Fortune 100 companies that you've also are working with. So is there any top of mind that you can think of and saying, hey, here's a company that saw the benefits in SMS, were not using it, chose CartBoss, executed on it, and then what sort of results did they get?
Oh, I mean, there's so many different companies, that use our solution. Is there perhaps like a specific branch of shops that you would be interested in? For example, drop shipping or clothing brands?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if half of Shopify is apparel in some sort of footwear and just fashion brands in general. I'm just curious about that because I think that, what's the incremental lift that people can assume or have achieved by using the solution?
Why I asked you this question is actually specifically because we try not to share the results too much because they're so big.
Right.
For example, dropshipping companies. Yeah. The thing is, when you talk to a person and tell him like, hey, this company made 7,000% return of investment.
Yeah.
It's such a huge number that people don't even believe you. So we don't even talk about those numbers too much.
Right.
But the thing, for example, there's a local brand that does clothing for gyms.
Okay.
So they were really scared about using our solution because, again, sending out text messages, it's really personal. People don't want to do it. They're scared that they're going to lose followers and stuff like that. But anyways, we told them like, hey guys, we're going to give you 500 free text messages. Test it out in the Slovenian market. You've got the text messages prepared. We're going to test it out beforehand because they were worried that it's not going to work or creditor side. Like you just see, that because it's a new technology that people are just scared of using it and testing it out. Anyways, we left it running for a day or two because they've got such huge amounts of traffic that they used up all the free credits like in the same day.
Yeah.
But I remember this, we left it running later on, because having a 1-day test isn't enough. So we left it for, like a week or two. And they had somewhere around 7,400% return of investment.
Wow.
Yeah. The click-through rate, I think, was 55%.
Yeah. So it's printing money for people. And I think that's one of the takeaways I've been getting already from this episode is the fact that if you're not doing SMS cart recovery, or you feel that you just don't know what to do, they have it all dialed in here. I'm physically looking right now in the admin, and like these are pre-built in and they clearly work for all these other brands. And I appreciate maybe the anonymity that goes along with not maybe sharing publicly too much of the success. But in general terms, it's thousands of % of ROI when you consider how cheap a text message is to go out. But the upside is the lift you're getting of, a raving fan now who just were reminded the fact that this product is still in their cart to complete the order.
So the problem, probably stands in the fact that a lot of people are used to mass sending. And a lot of e-commerce stores probably tested out mass sending text messages.
Yeah.
But those aren't going to bring you such results as abandoned cart text messages will. Because people buy something on your store and then they forget about your brand. They don't even know where they bought the product after a week.
Right.
But if you send out an abandoned cart text message 10 minutes after he abandoned the cart and you offer them something, or you just remind them, hey, you forgot something, that's going to convert. That's the shift.
Yeah. What I want to talk next is a little bit about, I guess, the industry kind of misconceptions, because I think, you said that some people are like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. Or I don't want to do text messaging. I'm scared that it might tarnish my brand. I think I'd love to give you an opportunity right now to kind of like address or kind of debunk maybe some people's misconceptions about how to execute correctly with SMS. Because right now they might say, no, I'm going to build my list and I'm just paid acquisition and retention marketing the best I can through email. It just kind of is what it is. And they're scared about maybe their own misconceptions about its success or GDPR compliance or CCPA in America or whatever. So I'm just going to throw it back to you since you're knee deep into this stuff. Like, what's your lay of the land right now in SMS?
I mean, to anyone that is not a believer, I would just say like, look, try CartBoss out. Use just one text message, because if you use one text message, legally speaking, you're completely fine. You have nothing to worry about. So just test it out and see what that one text message that you send out to everybody that abandons a cart on your page, and then get back to us and tell us what were the results. Because our worst client did, I think, roughly around 800% return of investment and had an unsubscriber rate of, I think, 1.5%, something like that.
Right.
So people aren't worried about that one occasional text message. No one's gonna stop buying from your site if they receive one text message. The only thing that's gonna happen is that they're gonna try and abuse the system and always add stuff to the shopping cart and then leave it because they know that they're gonna receive a text message after 10 minutes.
Oh, I see.
But again, don't worry. We've got that built into the system as well, that if they abandon the cart in the previous 30 days, they're not going to receive a text message again. So you're covered there as well.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Well, no, as far as the discount opportunities, I'm seeing some of the options in here. So if someone decides, hey, the first one's just a delicate nudge to remind them that their cart has an item in it an hour later or wherever the trigger time is. But then as they kind of further down this journey and these different flows that can be executed, it's like, what sort of discounts or special offers can you make? And then once that offer is presented in a text message, is there like a dedicated kind of checkout link where they can kind of go off to Shopify now, and the free shipping or the discount code or whatever, is it pre-baked into the checkout flow?
So you've got four different options. Like the first one is just nothing, just a gentle reminder, nothing special. The second one is a percentage discount. The third one is a fixed discount. And the fourth one is free shipping. And then there is the fifth one, which is custom. It's a custom code.
Okay.
So within each text message, there is a link that says, it's like link, click here to complete your order. And it's a link to your checkout page, actually. You click on it and you get to the checkout page. If you offer free shipping, a fixed discount, or a percentage discount, our app will automatically generate a discount, a random discount code on your back end and add it to the customer's cart automatically. You as a shop owner don't need to do anything. The customer that abandoned the cart doesn't need to do anything. It's just there. And it automatically gets deleted as well after a while, so that you don't have like 10,000 discount codes in your backend.
I see.
But if you want to do something completely custom, like free shipping, 10% discount, and an additional gift if you recover an abandoned cart, Then you can just add a custom coupon code, which you can do in your backend in your Shopify store. And you can just add it into the text messages. Say, hey, John, here's this discount or special offer called free whatever. Complete the order here. And when they click on the link, again, they get redirected to the checkout page with all their information pre-filled. And the coupon code is also already in their cart. So again, nothing needs to be done from the store owners or the visitors that abandon the cart. Everything is completely seamless.
Oh, that's lovely. I did some research too. I was curious on this myself because I've mentioned this to some of the businesses that I've managed, and to have an unsubscribe rate of between 2% and 3% is generally considered acceptable. Like for marketing campaigns, it's kind of like it just is what it is. And you're suggesting that some brands are 0.5 and 0.8, and that's still acceptable, especially on a cart recovery. Maybe not a full outbound kind of campaign with multi steps, but at least doing one, saying, hey, complete your order before stock runs out, click here, or you have 30 minutes to get this discount, click here, these kind of things. Those seem pretty straightforward. And then it's easy in America for literally, well, you say you have a dedicated link to unsubscribe, or just type the word stop, and then that's it. It's done. Yeah. So that's pretty cool that's optional. What about quiet hours? Is that an option for anywhere in the world? Because I think sometimes people's time zones, they don't want to get a text message in the middle of the night. So
Yeah. Of course, like those kind of stuff, like do not disturb mode is by default activated. We take into account, the different time zones. So like
right.
If someone abandons a cart, they're never going to receive a text message during the night hours. Like we send out text messages till 10 o'clock at night till 7 o'clock in the morning.
I see. All right, cool. And so I guess for me, I think kind of the next steps, I agree. And I think my listeners, everyone listening now, I think we all believe that, SMS, I know for a fact it has a very high open rate. I know the conversion rate is there. It's just, I'd say the bulk of people are not executing on it well. They're not acquiring them, or they're not at least doing an SMS cart recovery. They're just not doing it. And so I think that's one advantage, by having CartBoss turned on. So what do you think some of our next steps are? So if people are like, hey, I want to try this out. I have an existing email platform that I'm using, and whatever kind of legal opt-ins I'm getting there, I'm going to go down that journey potentially of emailing those people a cart recovery the following day, and however we time things here. But what do we want our listeners to do next? And saying, yes, I want to try CartBoss. I know you said you may have an offer for people, but I just want to know what kind of next steps should be.
The next step would be just, if you're thinking about starting recovering abandoned carts with text messages just based on this talk that you're listening to, just test it out. Just connect your site to CartBoss, and you're going to automatically receive 100 free text messages. But if you just write to us on info@cartboss.io and say that you listened to the podcast here, you're going to receive an additional 300 free text messages. So you're going to get 400 free text messages. And with an average return of investment of 2,400%. But you can do the math. Just calculate the average order value on your store and do the math. You're going to see how much money you get for free with us.
Yeah.
And I can say that some companies literally got over 10K with the free text messages.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think, once again, you don't know what you don't know. It was easy. Like I said, while you were talking to me about how easy it was, that's why I added it to my demo store. And very clearly, it adds on. I see everything in the admin. It's very clean and organized, and it does what it's supposed to do. It's very intentional. I do really appreciate that. So that's kind of our call to action today. I'll have a landing page created. It's ecommercefastlane.com/CartBoss. That's going to redirect you to a nice landing page there to learn more about this solution. You can go to cartboss.io. All the details are there. You can also search for the app in the Shopify App Store. Just type in CartBoss. It'll come up, SMS Abandoned Cart from CartBoss. And so all the details are there. Add it to your store. Give it a whirl. And like having 400 free SMS messages just to test it and see if it works. I think that's a great way to kick the tires. No charge to you as the brand owner to see what you're missing. Everybody wants incremental or extra revenue right now. So this is very helpful. Thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing.
I mean, thank you. Thank you for having me. And your English is so much better than mine, so you explained the whole solution perfectly. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Well, I wish you tremendous success and continue helping these brands in the Shopify ecosystem. Clearly, you have a great solution. I just like that you're narrowly focusing on what you're great at instead of being a Swiss Army knife of all marketing strategy. You're kind of saying, no, we want to deal with cart recovery at this point. We want to be experts at it through SMS. And you clearly are setting people up for success by having all these pre-designed messages. I love this.
Exactly. Thank you so much for having me again. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you personally for being a loyal listener of eCommerce Fastlane. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company powered by Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud and excited that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep thriving with Shopify.